Hi there. This exercise is going to take a look at using the flex band, and what we're going to do is we'll do a little bit of rib cage expansion and just breath awareness, and we might add in a little bit of arm opening, so a little bit of arm control, shoulder blade control and so on. So with the band, it's tactile feedback, so it's like as if somebody had their hands on the sides of your ribs, or you had your hands on the sides of your ribs. It just allows you to have your arms in a little bit of a different position. I don't have the band tied, I just have it crossed over the front of the chest area. Over the bottom ribs, below the chest area, that would be ideal, that you're not caught up in your neck and your shoulders are quite free. So try not to let that prop create undue stress or strain in your neck or shoulders. So from here, I just hold in this position, I breathe in to the ribs here. I feel the ribs expand, even kind of like, if you think of the ribs like a cylinder. So I know sometimes a lot of the time in Pilates we talk about the lateral expansion of the ribs, but the sternum is like a pump, so it does kind of kick forward and back, or it does rise forward and back subtly. And then I like to also think about breathing into the back muscles. So if you think about that cylinder, so that you're expanding your whole ribs, the big thing that I'm trying to watch for is that I'm not going into what we call extension give. So I'm not rocking on my spine as I breathe in, and then I'm not depressing on my body as I breathe out, so I'm not kind of coming forward and back. So that alone could be a focal point of this exercise. It's just that you're right up on your sit bones. We talked about that in pelvic floor to abs. You can find that on my channel as well. The anchoring down on the sit bones, and is, imagine you've got a drawstring lifting you up to the top of the head, so you've got that, you're in a stacked position, we call it stacking, right? You're in an upright position that doesn't have strain or stress. And then sometimes what we talk about as well, if you think about, I'll just get rid of this for a second, if you think about your ribs like a bell, so if you're a little bit extended through the back and your ribs, if you feel your ribs are angled or it's up, it's just to draw, if you think about the bell, right? Your ribs like a bell, just draw the front of the bell down a little bit so that you're not creating too much tension in your mid-back muscles, if you're not gripping in your mid-back muscles. So if you are, just relax your breath could be too, it could be too powerful. So just kind of relax it out a little bit, it might be too much. Alright, so then from here, so I breathe in into the band, I feel the ribs expand, and then I breathe out. Again, staying out of the neck and the jaw, breathe in. Gentle expansion. I like to think about a lift as well, like a distance between the pelvis and the ribs without going into an arch back, and breathe out. I breathe in. I breathe out. So the subtlety of that is, so when I'm breathing in, I could feel light on the body, and then as I breathe out, then I might anchor the sit bones down into the surface that I'm on. That's why it's nice to be on a kind of a hard surface sometimes if you're doing these and seated. So I breathe in, and then I breathe out. Good, and then I breathe in, and then I draw up at the pelvic floor, light engagement of the pelvic floor, and then engage the abdominals. Again, light engagement of that. I breathe in, and I draw up and pull in. So feel your ab wall come on, and then from here you can turn the arms out. So I'm trying to keep my shoulder blades stable and still, and really what I'm trying to do here is that, so the shoulder blades are stable and still, and then I'm opening the arms out to the side like that, and then back and out. So there's a little bit of potential stretch in the chest area there, and also I'm working the back of the shoulders, so it's good for posture. And then back. This is a blue band, so if you find that it's a little bit tricky on your shoulders, you can use something lighter, like a red band or even like a yellow band. Or I think the green one is a little bit lighter than this as well. So, and back. Breathing into the ribs, getting your expansion, feeling yourself anchored, and then back, and feeling back, and then back. There's another grip as well. You can do over grip like that. Just try to make sure that your wrists are staying straight. Do the best you can. You can lower your hands a little bit that way, or if you don't like that, another way of doing this is you can have the band like this, that way, just kind of track the elbows a little bit, try not to let the elbows kind of like lose control. So what I like to think about as well is, imagine there's a rod running from your shoulder down to your elbow. My arm isn't clenched into my side, but it's not kind of like uncontrollably moving out and in as well. So there is a focal point to the posterior, to the back of the shoulder, but then, and then sometimes what I cue people, and it kind of works as well, is just grip the band a little bit without letting it kick off into the neck. All these little areas that the body just wants to kind of subtly compensate on. Yeah, and if you're doing this facing a mirror and so on, and if you have a tendency to be a little bit higher on one side than the other, try to explore and see what is it like to get that little bit of length from one side to the other. Yeah, good a habit of kind of slumping into one side of the other and so on as well. Yeah, and then come back. Good, and relax it out. Alright, so that's just breath with a little bit of band work and some shoulder openings. Thanks a lot for watching.